The market pushes down and the bulls battle back. Are they here to stay? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we were looking for a push down in wave 5 and then a bounce back, and that's exactly what we saw as the market pushed down into the 4200s area before bouncing back at the end of the day. One of my favorite Game of Thrones episodes is the Battle of the Bastards, and now we have a battle of the pivots. The question is, who's going to win, the bulls or the bears? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, as you can see on the screen, PT and I started this service to help traders succeed, and that's exactly what we do. We had another great day trading today, and our traders really enjoy it, and we try to put it out for a fair value. If you want to be part of this winning team, stay tuned for later in the video. But for now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart. And we were looking for this wave 4 to top yesterday, pushed down in this wave 5, which we had on the screen down here around 4290 to 4273, came right down into our target and bounced up. Now we have a potential off of this low 1-2 setup. Now this is a micro count, and we know that the micro counts are less reliable, but it is a start to a bullish structure, and that's what we have to look at. Now, in order for this to follow through, we would look for this to continue this move up, break over this wave 4 high in the 43.35 area, and then ultimately look for this move to continue up over this bigger wave 4. So if we draw our fib tool on the chart so that you guys can see how we get those targets, we start from the bottom, we come up to the top of where they came to, and then pull back to the low, and that gives us our targets. The initial target for this to just be an ABC would be 43.55, and the overall target would be 44.08, which would take us above all of these spike highs here, and would be a fairly bullish move, assuming they can stay in the 5-wave format. So that would be what we'd look for if you were in the bullish camp. If you are in the bearish camp, you want them to hold this 35 level. If they stay below that and then move down and break this low, they start to get into kind of the death zone, which is the 42-43 area. That is the bottom of the bull pivot, and it must hold for the bullish count to stay alive. So that's the bull pivot level that must hold 42-43 on the ES, 4200 on the SPX. I've been talking about it forever now. They are down here. They're challenging it. The bulls must fight back. I do expect a bounce off of 4200 SPX should we get there, as there is a lot of support. But if that level breaks, then the bull count is in big trouble. To the upside, the bear count, okay, they broke through the 1.0 extension, and so that gives us clear parameters to the downside. When we break through the 1.0, we know that the pivot activates, and that tells us if the bearish count is going to play out. So the bearish pivot is up here at 43.80 to 44.21. As long as we stay below that 44.21 level, we should be bearish down to the 2.0 extension, down here towards 4,029. Now, obviously, it doesn't move in one move. We're not going to go straight to 4,029. I would expect a bounce off the 42.46 level, which is basically the bottom of the bull pivot, back up toward the 764, which is the 43.80 level. And then we look for a bigger move down into 41.37, which would fully break the bull pivot and end that move up. And then one more bounce and on down toward that 40.30 level. So the battle of the pivots is playing out. Whose is going to break first? The bulls need to hold 4200 on the SPX or 42.43 on the ES, and the bears need to hold 44.21. Whichever level breaks first is a key indication of what we have moving forward. Over on the NASDAQ, we have a similar situation, although they have not reached the 1.0 extension down here at 14.405. We did get the move down in our wave 5 toward this target area, and that could be all of the move down. We do have a potential 1-2 to the upside, and then that gives us our targets to look for to see if we're going to follow through with any kind of bullish momentum or there's still downside to come. So the NASDAQ is telling us a little bit more of a bullish story because it did not reach its 1.0 extension like the ES did. And when we set our fib extension tool on here, we would look for them to break over this wave 4 high at around 15.027 up to eventually 15.173 in a 5-wave move. For the bears, they want to continue to press down to at least the 1.0 in the 14.405 area, but typically you'd want to see the 14.067 area as the 1, 2, 3, 6. The key level to watch on the NASDAQ for the bull pivot is 14,128. If they push down through 14,128, that is a bad news situation for the bullish count, and the bears have taken full control of the market. For the bulls, they want to push back up over this wave 4 high and continue on, eventually taking out this high right here at about the 15,454 level. Back above that, and the bulls are back in control of the market, and we would look back toward new all-time highs. So very similar counts. The difference is the NASDAQ is much weaker to the downside than the ES. It has not reached its 1.0 potential or even its 1236, whereas the ES is pushed through this area. So this is an indicator that we could still have that bullish count to the upside, assuming the bull pivots hold. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial. Because I want you to get in there, make sure you love it, and become part of the trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. We also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners course. It is a course that's helping real traders make real money and finally understand how the market works and what levels to look at and how to trade it instead of trying to follow the news cycles, which are so confusing. When good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up, how can you understand where it's headed? Well, you can use Elliott Wave Theory. It is a 25 video course in 3 sections where I go through an introduction, where we go over your expectations, your mindset and emotion, the KISS theory and why it works, all of the chart setup and tools you need to make sure your chart is set up correctly with the right tools to make sure you can find the Elliott Wave targets and failure points, as well as the Elliott Wave for Beginners area where I go through each wave, what their targets are, what their failure points are, the corrective depth theory, the theory of alternation, the pivot, all the things you need to know to fully understand the market. The cool thing about the course is it is included in both monthly plans. In my first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are interested in day trades as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that just crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures his trades. It's so unique. Something you really have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, key takeaways for today. The bulls need to continue this move up. A move back through 43.55 would be a good start. Ultimately, over this wave 4 high and up to the 44.08 area would be the ideal move for the bulls. But again, as long as we're under this 44.21 area, the bears are still in control. But to get started, we want to see the bulls make that move. For the bears, they want to continue downward. They want to press down to this 1236 at the 42.46 area, which is essentially right on top of the bull pivot, and potentially even break through before seeing a bounce. Over on the NASDAQ, the bears need to push down to the 14.128 level to break the pivot to the downside and have the bull count kind of fade away. But the bulls do have a potential 1-2-1-2 set up toward the 15.173 mark. Should we see them follow through with that, that would be a strong indication that the bulls are trying to take back control of the market. And again, a pushback over this high at 15.454 would be a strong indication that the bulls have done so. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.